Hello friends, so welcome to this course on Microsoft Azure Security Technologies or AZ-500. First of all, I would like to say thank you for subscribing this course and putting your valuable time, effort and energy in watching these videos. In this lecture, we'll discuss what all topics we'll be covering in this particular course. So in the section 1, we'll cover the introduction and the cloud security shared responsibility model. See, from a security perspective, we need to understand that there are certain responsibilities which your CSP cloud service provider is having, and what are the responsibilities which customer is responsible for. Because from a security perspective, when you need to install patches, when you need to install or configure some of the security measures, it is very important to understand that okay, which all things as a customer will be doing and which all things CSPs to do. In our case, it is the Microsoft Azure. Now, once we have that understanding, then we move on to the section 2 where you'll understand the Azure AD basic concepts. Because whenever you create a Microsoft account or Azure account, first thing is you get a subscription and then you can create the different users and group within that. So that is why the first section is about Azure AD concepts, wherein you understand the Azure AD, different payment models, what are the capabilities of AD, Azure AD users. At the same time, you will also get the demo of how you can create the users within the Azure AD, and then creating groups, then different settings for a particular user, application management via Azure AD, and similarly how we can create a service principal within the Azure AD. So if you'll see the pattern across the lecture or across the course, you'll see after almost every lecture we have tried to add a demo so that you can get a clear view that okay, how that particular service or option work or how you can do a practical for that. And once you have the understanding of AD, then there is a need that okay, you need to connect it to on-premise or how you can get the users authenticated. So that is why in section 3 you'll see the single sign-on and Azure AD Connect, where you'll see different options about Azure AD Connect, authentication types. Now, once you have the understanding of that, you can easily move on to the section 4, where you will study about the identity management concept in Azure AD, its types, then again the demo. You will get the understanding of Azure AD Identity Protection. And till this point of time, you have solid understanding about the identity protection, creating users and everything, and you're in a good shape to move on to the conditional access policies. And you'll study the different pillars of conditional access, how conditional access policies work and all those things. And in section 6, we'll go through the role-based access control, its different pillars, how you can define the role-based access, their demos, Azure policies, all those things will covered in section 6. And then we'll go through the Azure privileged identity management, Azure logs. Until this point of time, we now have the solid understanding of the Azure AD. Now, after Azure AD, in order to create virtual machines, all those things, first thing generally we interact is the VNet and how the basically the network path. So that is why after the AD concepts, we have the network security in Azure. We'll cover the network part, how the DDoS protection work, creating a virtual network, NSG rules. As a security professional, you need to understand that okay, how the network security groups work. So we have 3-4 lectures for the network security groups only, and you'll understand that how the rules are evaluated when the rules are applied at the subnet or at the NIC level. Then similarly, application security groups, firewall, all the network security concepts will be covered in this section 8. Now you have this network security grounds, then you can go ahead and create the VM, study the different options across the VM. Then you'll see the different controls which are there in the Azure IS. Then we study the different options along with the demos for those. After that, there is a data security part 1 and data security part 2. So in part 1, we have covered the storage account, because you will be storing some of the data in the storage account or in the SQL servers. So that is why we have divided into two parts. In data security part 1, you'll study all the options with how you'll be able to secure your storage account, how you can apply the encryption and use the shared access signatures keys. Then you will come to the data security part 2, wherein we'll discuss the different options in case of databases, like how you can secure your SQL DB, Cosmos DB, how you can apply the encryption, access control. Along with that, with each and every lecture, you'll see a demo related to that, so that you can get a solid understanding of each and every concept. Then we'll discuss about the application security and how you can configure the FTPS, HTTPS or certificates in case of Azure, how you can have the network isolation. Now, once we have the solid understanding of all these concepts of application security, network security, IaaS security or AD security, now we are in a good shape wherein we'll understand how the monitoring works, how we can have a holistic view of all the infrastructure we have in case of Azure. That is where we'll study the Azure Monitor, and we'll study about the Azure Security Center. So in Azure Security Center, almost you'll see there are more than 2 hours lecture where you'll study each and every option in the Azure Security Center, how it helps, what are the different options with the help of which you'll be able to see the alerts, recommendations from the Microsoft. So these are the topics which we'll be covering in this particular course. So this is it, friends, in this lecture. Thank you for watching this lecture. Meet you in the next lecture. Thank you.